Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Two in the Cooler. We've got one of my favorite people on today's show, Donny Alberts. But before we get into that, if you want to support the show even further, because we appreciate you guys watching and checking us out, you can actually do something a little nice for yourself. Why don't you treat yourself and check out all the great stuff that we've got on our merch store at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. I'm talking hoodies. Okay, I'm talking t-shirts. Not just any t-shirts, though, okay? These aren't that shitty brand you're getting from everybody else. These are tri-blend t-shirts. That is Target quality material, folks. You can't get that anywhere else, okay? But we've also got great stuff like fanny packs, mugs, those cool metal water bottle things, pint glasses, whatever you're looking for. All kinds of great stuff. Again, at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. You can hit the link in this show description or check out our Instagram bio and see all of that cool merch, not just for this show, but also our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin' and Quested, the Dungeons and Dragons podcast that we produce right here. So if you want to get yourself something that's going to make you feel good, make you look good, again, you can check out snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Folks, it's officially fall, okay? People are going back to school. Halloween is right around the corner. Things are getting busy, and you don't want to be caught off guard, okay? You don't want to waste your time going to the grocery store. The good news is you don't have to, because you can use Instacart. With Instacart, you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite local products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. And the best part is, right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you gotta do is spend $10, and Instacart will deliver whatever you're looking for, absolutely free, right to your door. Folks, all you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this show description, make things a little easier on yourself, and start using Instacart today. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin', or Quested, the newest show we produce right here, you can reach out to us. Email us at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond, because podcasting is becoming such a huge thing. It's carved out a big market for itself in media, so much so that these large companies are moving into podcast advertising. These companies are like McDonald's, State Farm, these massive companies. These are companies that like advertise during the Super Bowl. It's insane, and it's cool to see them move away from traditional media into podcasting, because it's a much more effective way to advertise, frankly. But the problem is, with these big companies coming over, it doesn't leave really any room for smaller local companies to get in on the action. But that's what we're here for. So if you're interested in learning more about all the ways podcast advertising can benefit you, reach out to us again at snackspotsports@gmail.com. What about like Morse code, though?
Yeah, you can turn it off.
But again, she doesn't know words exist.
What is she comparing it to?
Okay, but you don't need to know what... Okay, just follow me on this for a second, because it's going to take a second. This is going to take a second.
I cannot fathom it. I think about this.
Like you don't need to know that this is called a watch, because you can make up a different word for it.
Can I explain something to you, though?
Yeah, but that's insinuating you already know what words
Andrew,
even are.
Think about this. Ready? Okay, so raise your hand towards me. Take your hand and put it. Take my hand and put it on your watch.
Okay.
All right. Guess what?
Okay. Yeah. But so
you can't explain it to me verbally.
No. But so like, let's say.
So how do I know what it does?
Hold on. So with the water, right? So like we were saying, they had Helen Keller like touch water. If I put your hand in water, maybe you're not going to know what it is. Maybe you freak. Hold on. You freak out. But if let's say I put your hand in water, and then I give you like 2 taps on the shoulder, okay? And then I stick your hand in water again, 2 taps on the shoulder. Water, 2 taps. Water, 2 taps. That 2 taps is going to mean water to you.
Yeah, but you're never going to know what water is, Andrew.
No, but you do in a different context. You're perceiving it because you're perceiving it in a different way. So I think water's a bad
example, because I think
water's a perfect example.
No, because I think the two things that would be, like useful is food and beverage. Like, you know what I mean? Like things you eat.
The hospitality industry.
Yes. But everything else in the world, how do you explain that to somebody? Because I know what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, but what is the purpose of you allowing me to feel a watch and then me creating whatever that is in my head? Because a watch is used to tell time.
Sure.
Like, and you're never going to be able to say, like, this is a watch that's used to tell time to somebody that can't hear. And if they also can't see.
Well, time is a bad example.
I'm not saying time, but I'm saying, like,
concept.
But
anything that has to do with watch is a bad example.
Anything that's not food or drink,
sure.
How are you explaining it? Like, what are you?
Well, like pillows and shit. Like tactile things. You could do.
But not really, because
pillows
I feel
and
like
shit. Like that's how you describe just
I'm thinking about things that you would use every day.
Somebody would just lay you down on a soft surface.
Right. And then two shoulder tabs.
Like how do you say no. Like imagine saying like
that mint got you.
Seriously, this is a serious thing. Like how do you explain like you have to sleep. You have to put yourself to sleep.
Well, your body just knows that. Like you are just gonna fall asleep. It's
eventually,
it's definitely different.
But like, what is your time clock? Your time clock. I mean, I know that you're probably having
weird.
people
wake you up and stuff.
But even then, like, what is your like? For all we know, like every time she was awake, like one day could feel like
1,000 years.
1,000 years. Like,
yeah. No, it's pretty trippy, but. So
going back to how this whole started is like
we're talking about Anne Frank,
the tale of old Helen Yeller.
Yeah, which I have
fact or fiction.
Fact or fiction. Helen Keller, fact or fiction.
And does she even think she exists?
I think therefore I am. That's all I got.
Does she think
philosophy?
Anything?
Yeah, I think.
But
I think so.
So that's why I said, what do you think goes on in her head? Because again,
but it's you.
No, you
find different ways
have
to,
thoughts, but
sure, contextualize things.
But
yourself.
like so you obviously have. Well, it's like free will, right? It's your self-conscious. Like you have the ability to have whatever thought you want, but our thoughts. Because we can see and hear and speak, we have all our senses, are all based off of our lives, like, and the way we speak. Because like, think about this. Sure. This is going to sound really, really dumb, but it's kind of compares what we're saying, like somebody that doesn't speak English, somebody that only speaks Spanish, for example. Like, I guess you could say their thoughts are in Spanish, right? Just the same as like your thoughts are in English.
Yeah.
Even though they're not really in anything because they're just your thoughts. So she would still have those, but it would be like it's hard to comprehend being somebody that can't think it, how you would have thoughts when you just have nothing. Like there's just nothing to base a thought off of. You have to have a hell of an imagination.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you just find different ways to contextualize things yourself, right now I'm feeling no headphones. I'm trying it out.
You're trying to really soak in all the sounds of your ear.
Yeah, exactly.
You're feeling blessed
I'm feeling blessed today. But yeah, it'd be impossible for us to contextualize, but there'd obviously be something, like her reality is just, it's weird because her reality be so completely different from the rest of ours. So it's kind of like in her mind, which is really the only reality
she has
that she can fully comprehend, because she can obviously interact with the reality that her physical body is being in. I know this is getting a little out there now. But that's why it's so interesting. Yeah, now.
But can she? Seriously, can she understand that her physical body is in this universe? Because how?
Well, she knows that there is that when certain things happen, there's a certain sensation, and perhaps that is touch, even if she doesn't have like the word touch to recognize.
No, I understand.
Sensation.
Yes, but
so she knows that something is happening.
You'll never fully know Like, imagine
Dragons.
every time she got in the shower or something. Like, they were like, hey, you have
Sure.
to take a shower. She was
Oh,
like, what the
God.
fuck?
3 taps.
Or on the flip side of that, imagine when it would start raining and she was outside, if she thought she was in the shower and she would just start getting naked,
It's possible.
Huh.
soaping up.
Soaping up.
Soap and she just always had soap on her.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing they don't tell you about Helen Keller.
Four
This
taps.
is also, I've never.
Four taps.
Four taps.
Four taps means soap up.
I've also, I don't know what Helen Keller looks like. I've never read anything about
This-
her before. I just saw one time I was in
Old Helen
sociology class, and they had a poster on the wall. It had a quote on it, and it said, "If you live your life in the light, the darkness can never touch you." Helen Keller.
No, it didn't.
And I was like, Helen Keller never said that, because Helen Keller never said anything.
And she couldn't hear any. How would she ever figure out
That
what
wasn't
a
a
word
real
is?
poster, right?
Well, that's the
That's
thing.
not a real
It was
thing.
hanging up, but I was like, this is wrong.
This is
Like,
part
there's
of
no
my
way.
theory. Like,
There's no
isn't
way.
it? We don't have to tag Emily. She seems to be a little bit of an expert on the subject.
Well,
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
know
how
if
we
she's-
started
I'm not gonna
talking
put
about it.
expert on her, but like she at least.
like, isn't
But
it a thing?
Emily's not going to
That
call Helen
teacher,
Keller
though,
and
like,
Frank on accident.
That teacher, that's a common mistake.
Yeah, I
It happens
know.
all the time.
But it doesn't mean
That's
it's
why
good.
it should be
It doesn't mean it's good.
mediated by now.
That
It's-
teacher that taught Helen Keller, isn't it like, it doesn't the story go that she started to teach her like the alphabet and colors and stuff like that? And I'm like, how in the world
Okay,
could you
that's-
possibly do that?
I have no idea if that's
Emily.
accurate. If anything you've said is accurate there. The alphabet, I guess you can see, but
Is that true?
not see. But but colors, I guess.
Or is that folklore?
This is why
though? Like,
we
am I
need to
making
get
that up?
the laptop hooked up to
What?
the TV.
That's a good idea.
Because we have the technology. We do it for one of the other shows that we do here.
We have the
but
technology.
We have the
but,
technology, but we just haven't had the will, I guess. Because I don't want to. Operate
I want
that
sticks
thing.
bad. I always want sticks.
You can. We'll set it up for. Let's do it like next week.
I'm
We'll
gonna
do
need
it
a
next
new
week.
computer.
You can use mine, which is not new, but
I feel like you shouldn't have the sticks.
I
I've
need
seen
the
enough
sticks
episodes
bad.
of
I
this
think
show.
that's
I
why.
don't think
That's why you should have them though.
I think I need the sticks.
you're gonna lose him for a while.
Can
He's
I-
gonna come back like
Yeah.
3 conversations later and be like, no, Mike Tyson like was born a
Yeah.
female or something. Like he just
He's
Heard it
suing.
here first.
He's suing Hulu.
Mike Tyson's suing.
He's
Wasn't he in the
suing Hulu.
commercials?
Yeah, that's-
No, because they're doing the show. I don't know if the show is an actual. I think it is a Hulu show, not like an FX show that they put on Hulu. But he's suing Hulu because they're doing a Mike Tyson TV show right now. It's like a biopic TV show.
Young.
Yeah, something like
something,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. It's like the young rock version of,
Right,
of Mike
yeah.
Tyson. And I guess they don't have, like, he didn't sign off on it or something.
That's the one dude that you check with before you make a show about his life.
And that's like
That's the one guy. that-
he's calmed down so much since he started smoking weed, though. Like, he beat the shit out of that guy on the airplane,
Right,
but that was
for-
special
It's
circumstances.
an airplane. Everyone's kind of on edge.
Oh my
You just
God.
went through security. Well, I'm sure Mike Tyson didn't, but
Yeah.
I'm not patting him down. Can you imagine being the TSA agent that has to frisk Mike Tyson?
Again,
I'd frisk
today
Mike Tyson.
today he seems like a lot nicer, but back in the day, back in the I'll fuck you till you love me days, no way I would go near that guy. Not a chance.
I think the Hangover movies changed him. I think that saved his life.
I do
I
think
heard
he's-
that he was in pretty bad shape on that.
He
so
was.
it
The
like-
whole filming
yeah,
of it. He
it
was
was
just
like
like
rock bottom.
riddled in coat, like not good.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
That's kind of what the movie's about. So maybe he was just what's it called?
Method acting.
acting.
Yeah. How old is Mike Tyson? He's in his 60s now. He's 64.
Wish I had the sticks.
Stick it up, Matthew.
No, he's not in his 60s.
Oh, he's got to be. He's got
I'm
got
saying,
gray.
like,
He's got gray in his
54.
beard. You think he's
54.
54? I think he's like 10 years older than that.
I don't know. Time's never been.
But he was gonna fight somebody. I don't know if
56 years old.
Holy shit!
Wait, what did I say?
54. You said 54. So nice.
Jake Paul's 25. That's who else comes up when you type in Mike Tyson. How old is Mike
That
Tyson?
might have been they might have been the ones who were like supposed to fight or whatever. Because he did start training again, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
I feel like
He
this
looked
was
pretty
even over
good.
a year
Dude,
ago. Yeah, he
if,
did. He
if
was
I
so
would have
quick.
seen a
Maybe-
Paul brother fight Mike Tyson, I would swear I would have drawn.
Dude, can you imagine rewinding like 10 years ago and just watching this podcast episode and being like, wait, Jake Paul comes up when you search Mike Tyson? Like, what the hell happened? What went wrong or right? Because, yo, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Depends on how you look at it. To bring us back to kind of where we were, I want to talk about the Stevie Wonder thing that I don't.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, right.
You referenced Stevie Wonder because
I know that was off camera, but you
Yeah.
guys both were like, "What about that Stevie Wonder story that apparently I've never heard?"
the Shaq story.
Shaq story.
Yeah. Because he's your go-to blind person.
He's my
so
go-to blind
we started
person.
naming other
Yeah,
blind
Matthew
people.
has a...
He's a go-to blind person.
Can't
Well,
even process that.
because what did I say? I said something.
The camera was crooked,
Oh,
and you said
yeah,
Stevie
yeah.
Wonder
I
could
said
have seen
Stevie
that
Wonder
was
could have seen
crooked.
that was crooked.
Yeah.
That's I say.
And then
yeah.
you lead to go-to blind guy leads to me and you bringing up the Shaq story,
Yep.
leads to old Helen Yeller.
It's old Helen Yeller.
and that's
And
the
then
And
intro.
now we're all,
ripped
and
out
now
the
we're all
history
caught
book.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to McGraw Hill, baby.
Have you ever seen like?
Hold on, let's tell the Stevie. Do you want to tell Shaq's story?
I'll spark notes it.
Yeah.
Basically, they lived in like the same apartment building or same hotel. No, same apartment building, and Shaq gets into the elevator, and Stevie Wonder's already in there, and like Shaq doesn't say a word, like nothing, and he's just like, "What's up, big fella?" Like Stevie Wonder hit him with that, like didn't look around, nothing. So either
Knew
Stevie
it was Shaq.
See, I heard that. I think Shaq was in the elevator,
or maybe he
and the
gets
doors
in.
open, and as soon as the doors open, Stevie Wonder's standing there by himself, looks at Shaq and goes, "Hey, Shaq," and like walks in and pushes the button to the to
See,
the
that's
bottom
even
floor.
the next.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
yikes.
yeah. I feel like Eddie
Can I
Murphy
throw some
has
theories?
one too, but okay.
A couple people have, yeah.
So, this is going to contradict everything I just said when it comes to the Helen Keller conversation. But if you truly are just blind, I feel like was he born blind?
I don't know.
Him, I don't know. Helen Keller was.
Well, I know that, yeah.
He wasn't born blind, Emily? No, he wasn't.
So,
No.
So Emily
This-
knows everything about blind people
Yeah.
is what we're learning?
so
Who's your go-to blind
Helen
guy?
Keller wasn't born blind? Bullshit. That takes away everything we just talked about.
We just spent 15 minutes. So she knows what water is. She doesn't need the two taps. She
She
doesn't need the
She
braille.
doesn't start soaping up when it rains.
God damn it.
Don't
Scrap,
Emily's turning me
scrap
down.
everything.
Emily's fucking turning me down. That's
Now
bullshit.
you know.
I
Now
gotta
you
look
know
this
how
up.
Helen
No,
Keller
this
felt.
Was Helen Keller born blind?
Was she born anything? There's no way she developed.
No, you know what?
Deafness,
God damn it,
blindness.
you're right. She had scarlet fever or something like that, didn't she?
No way.
Did you just fist bump the
Talk about
Scarlet
a
Fever?
Talk about a wealth
Shout
of
out to
knowledge.
Scarlet
Yes,
Fever. Doesn't get enough love these days, man.
a normal infant was stricken with an illness at 19 months, probably scarlet fever, unconfirmed, which left her
It was
deaf,
COVID.
blind and deaf. But again, 19 months, so you probably don't really.
I wonder if because that short period of time, even though you were so young, was the only time you have had these very specific experiences that your memory would
Still have
bring them to the forefront of your mind, kind of. Because it's not like you're making new visual memories.
Well,
Right.
with Stevie Wonder, though, my thing is, I got a couple theories. One,
Okay.
if you've been blind for a long time, especially if you could see and then have been blind for a while and have adjusted to it, you not only do you still probably have like a memory, not a memory, but like an understanding of where things would be when you do stuff. Like you walk into the elevator, boom, buttons on the left, right?
yeah.
So
Assuming you've been in an elevator when you could see.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So but at the same time, like if that's your apartment complex, you've probably had somebody,
That's
give
true.
you a lowdown of like, hey, this is what happens.
And if you know Shaq lives there and you smell barbecue sauce,
Well, I was gonna
pretty
say,
good shot that you're in
could
the
be a
elevator,
musk,
too.
could be a musk.
I would
Yeah.
assume
Two-
Shaq has some
kind of-
stench. Not a stench.
No, not
he
a
probably
stench.
smells
A
decent.
scent,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Two, I feel like he probably breathes heavy. He's a large man.
That's true.
Also,
So he's like
there's a
Daredevil.
chance that we don't know that Shaq was, throwing us a little bone
Sure.
just to be fun, and
Just
like,
Shaq and a fool.
and like maybe Shaq lived on the penthouse and Stevie lived the floor below him. So the only person that would ever come down in the elevator
Sure.
would be Shaq.
Right. This is all. Man, deductive reasoning here is off the charts. I think we're really doing a great job. I think we should have our own USA show.
We're getting to the dirty areas.
Maybe Shaq can, knows that he's blind, and Stevie Wonder just walked right into him, and the only person that would feel like Shaq when you walk into is Shaq.
I suppose that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Queen is dead, and we were going to do a who would win with her, but we're passing on that.
It didn't seem... No, that's not even true. It seemed right. We just couldn't really
but
find the
we
matchup.
just, who do you do? That's not Betty White.
I have
Everybody,
to
we thought of
say-
Betty White.
I have to say, when the Queen died,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was gonna say, all due respect to the
Sure.
Queen,
Shout out to Sam Phillips. He
I
called it.
haven't enjoyed my time on Twitter ever as much as I did in the 12 to 24 hours post Queen death.
Really?
People were. It felt like 2016 again. People were just having fun, man. People were just tweeting funny shit about the Queen being dead.
It's outrageous.
And every person that was show some respect, people were just shut the fuck up. Let's have some fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's been alive for 170 years.
Yeah.
She had
we
her
can,
fun.
Yeah. We're good.
Did you see that a bunch of countries are leaving from
Really?
Europe's control
She
now
was
that she's
the
dead?
glue.
She was the last thing, which makes sense though because she was 25 when I think in 1957 or something is when she took over as the Queen. So she was kind of
Doesn't even make sense.
the last. She was in power for the entire time the monarchy has been fading away from legitimate old school royalty into just Meghan Markle era,
Yeah.
full on celebrity, strictly
Figurehead.
Yes, thank you. Strictly figurehead era is now. So I wonder. You know what it reminds me of is the holiday special. Santa Claus is coming to town, the puppet
Yes.
one.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, because that's the one with the Meister burger, and at the end, they kind
Is he a
of
Nazi?
no, but he is German.
Okay.
So
Derivative.
yeah, a couple,
Semantics.
just a few degrees removed.
Okay.
I'm sure he would have been had it been at the right time. That dude would have.
He was in the
Sign
wrong
up for the-
region.
Fast forward to
Luftwaffe,
back to where we were.
no
Sorry.
problem. He at the end of Santa Claus is coming to town, they do a quick voiceover wrap up where one kid is like, "What happened to the Meisterburgers?" And Fred Astaire is like, "Well, they just kind of died out," and then it shows people taking these portraits down of the Meisterburgers and throwing them
Yeah, I
away.
recall.
I'm sure we're still. I mean, who knows how long that's going to take? But is this really now the point where the monarchy is in a full
Right.
decline as far as
It reminds me of Robert
gives a shit?
Baratheon, if you've seen Game of Thrones.
Hey, there you go.
Are we in season 1 of Game of Thrones in real life right now? Queen just died. You know what I'm talking about?
I never watched the first season.
I'm just saying he dies.
Yeah.
The rest of the show happens because of that.
Right.
I'm just saying we might have some crazy stuff
Should
coming
we
up.
Interesting.
stock up on swords?
It's never a bad idea.
Dragon scale, something like
Yeah.
that.
Never a bad idea. Have you been watching the new one?
I saw the first 3 episodes. Then I heard they changed the actress because there was a time jump, and
Yeah.
I haven't watched the new one yet.
Yeah, I don't know if they.
I don't know if
did
I'm
they
gonna.
change her this
I don't know.
past episode. I thought they were gonna. I haven't watched the new one, so I don't know yet.
I looked up the main chick Targaryen lady. I looked her up, her actress's name, and a couple people
young one,
came
like
up.
the current one
The
that's
young
there?
one, yeah, and I got the actress's name, which is what I thought was her, and then I clicked on the actual thing just to see what else she in or whatever. And it was a full-grown woman. I'm like, okay, this isn't right. And then I went back, and there were 2 names for the same character. I'm like, what the fuck? So I actually spoiled it for myself
Yeah.
and both of you and all the viewers.
No,
But-
We knew
I
that
feel.
I don't
yeah.
watch it. So
But I only knew about the time jump after the first episode had already aired. I don't remember them.
I found
putting
out
that
about
shit
it
out or anything.
live in the second episode, third episode. They skipped 2 years or something. There's
Yeah.
one baby born in that time, and that's the only thing that changed.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah.
something like that. But
But they're gearing up for a big one.
I mean, it's been pretty good so far, to be honest with you.
I liked it. Like I said, I didn't watch the first season of the original Game of Thrones, and I didn't start watching that show until spoiler alert, big spoiler alert coming, the season after Jon Snow gets killed. So the first episode I ever saw was
Season
the one where
6.
he comes back to life.
That's
And then I
season
went
6.
back and like watched it. So I wanted to like hop on this one
Early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say Matt Smith, I think Damon is his character.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that guy. That guy to rule
gonna
everything. Probably.
I guarantee you he dies.
I feel like
I know he survives a time jump.
he's gonna die like the most gruesome death in like season 4.
That's a great
If
call.
I know Game of Thrones and I know that character, season 4 he's gonna like just be dismembered.
Is this Dragon's gonna go on for that long? Is this a multi-season thing?
I don't know
I don't know.
I don't know how many because this is also based on books, but I don't know how many books there are.
Probably
in
just
this
depends
series.
on
this
how
is a
many people
prequel?
watch it.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
it's a lot. Yeah, it takes
So
place,
eventually you're gonna run out of.
well, it takes place
Pre-
200 years before. The
But they're
original
time
series,
jumping, so that, what does that even
yeah,
mean?
but a couple years as long as they keep it to
The
that, it's not a
whole
big deal. And
universe
even if
was
they
in a
did go
hot,
all the
dead
way up,
state.
I mean that'd be pretty sick.
I'm for it. So
Yeah.
they could just go
14
past
million
it.
years
Like they don't
ago.
have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even if you want to do that.
It's like Star Wars. Like they had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but now there's like a 3.5.
Right, you got Rogue One,
and so they
Solo, all
you
that
can fit
stuff.
in anything anywhere if you try hard enough.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody
Pause.
cares anymore. Yeah.
As soon as it, yep.
No, content is an absolute mess these days, but you know, at least there's some cool stuff coming out. But I think I'm excited to watch the rest of this show because, like I said, Matt Smith, who's the you know who Matt Smith is? He's the Doctor Who in that Vincent Van Gogh clip that you like.
That I like. It's just a clip. Like
Oh.
I've just seen it.
I thought you liked that clip.
You know that clip
I
you
love
never
that.
shut up
Yeah.
about?
I
I
mean,
mean,
just talking about that clip.
You walked in on me in the green room one time, like laying there watching a TikTok of that clip. That's your basis of saying that. I love
okay,
it.
all right.
That is true.
I looked it up just to make sure I was thinking of the right guy, but I typed in Matt Smith, and the second result that comes up, it's like Matt Smith, Matt Smith's movies, Matt Smith's eyebrows. And I can't make this up. He's got a
Can
crazy
I see? Can I see?
He's got a nice set.
dude has a jacked face.
Oh, that's who that is.
He
He looks
looks
a
like-
lot different than when he was playing Doctor Who.
He looks like he just fought off a bunch of bees.
In Doctor Who, he looked so like young and
I'm
innocent.
just-
In that, he looks.
That's like a British ass face though. That's what British people look like.
Wow.
In my I'm pretty sure that's what they
About to
look
lose
like.
your UK
racist?
viewers.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Queen dies
Even
and
like-
you lose a nation.
Even like the handsomest dude that they have, which I think is like Benedict Cumberbatch, is what people say. Like people say that guy's very handsome.
Yeah.
That guy is.
What would you
he's a
say
little
about it?
caterpillar.
You seem
He's got
like-
no.
Yeah, what
he's
do
got
you
no.
think?
He's got no chin. He's got zero chin.
I knew a guy that would. Like,
That's why they got to
looked
give
like
him
he
a
had no
goatee
chin
for
once.
Doctor Strange, so you know where his fucking head ends and his neck starts.
Wait, you know a guy with no chin?
Not literally no chin.
I
but
know what
he
you're
had,
talking
like,
about. What's
Unfortunately, he had like a really bad overbite, which I have a overbite myself. So I'm not chirping people that as
Yeah.
it starts to progress that they start to lose the little chin. But this particular guy, like he did not have a lot of chin. Like it was
Yeah, no, not a lot of chin to spare.
no. Oh yeah, none to spare.
he had chin to
If he
spare.
gave any more up, if he gave any more chin up, he was straight neck and a nose.
I want to talk about the new album a little bit, Donnie. I want to
Yeah,
make sure
sure.
you get that out there and let the people know. I know it's been out for a minute because we've been trying to figure out when you're
That's
gonna
okay.
come on the show
Yeah.
for like fucking months. It feels like, but
That happened last time too, though. So it's just kind of where we're at. That's kind of how we operate.
oh
I
yeah,
guess.
that's just how we play it.
Yeah. Well, no, because it's always both sides. Because I was working Wednesdays for however long, and then
Yeah.
it was like, all right, we can do it on a Tuesday. I'm like, I work this Tuesday.
Yeah, now we
Whatever.
got to switch it to Tuesdays.
Yep.
But it's out, and I remember like when it came out. We were messaging about when you could come on the show, and you were like, "Did you listen to it yet?" I was like, "No, I haven't had a chance." You go, just take a look at the track list.
Right, just real nonchalant.
Yeah, take a look at the track list. So I go, and I am happy that I was alone when I saw it because I lost my fucking mind, dude. If anybody hasn't watched Donnie's last episode, which we just looked up, was episode 57 of this podcast.
Yes, sir.
Not
we were
56.
we were pretty fresh in the studio, and Donnie, the only person ever allowed to freestyle on this podcast, and I will say probably the best freestyler around, did one off the cuff for us, and it made the new album. And you
did.
called it Two in the Cooler.
I did. I was like, because it was such a cool verse. It ended up shaping up so well, and I was like, I don't want to just like scrap this or whatever. You know, like you said, it was like early on for you guys. I was like, what if no one ever sees that verse I did? Like, what? It's nowhere. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, well, I'll toss down the album somewhere. I was like, no, because then I feel like I'm like almost ripping it from you guys. It was on your show. I'm like, all right, I'll just toss them a little credit and name it after their podcast. I figured it was the best way to cover all grounds and get, what I wanted out of it. And I added like a little bit at the end or something to kind of like shape up the song or whatever, but it was pretty straightforward with what I did on the show.
I remember when Andrew sent that to me. I also remember when it happened live, and I think about it a lot because
Sweet.
there's definitely moments where I become an awkward guy, and like I just kind of freeze up, right?
Sure.
But when you were doing that, it was so good that I didn't feel awkward, and I guarantee you, in any other moment, I would have felt awkward. So it like loops in my mind every once in a while when I'm like busy doing something or I'm like it just goes in my brain and I remember it because I remember thinking like, wow, this is really, really cool, and I don't feel weird sitting here right now.
That's awesome. That's the weirdest compliment ever, but like it seems it's so out there that I know it's genuine, which is awesome. You know what I mean? Like that, because I'm awkward as hell. You know what I mean? That's how I operate. Day by day.
Like.
So I get what you mean as like not feeling weird doing or watching something.
Yeah.
You know what I
like
mean?
if somebody random came up to me and was like, can I freestyle for you real quick? I'd be like, and I'd sit there and I'd be like,
well, yeah.
Right.
I wouldn't know what to do. But that one, like, when you think back on it, you generally remember sitting there and listening and be like, wow, this is going to be really, really, really good. And it was.
And Badfish, did he make all your beats on this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out Badfish.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, I know you're good friends and stuff, like, so it's obvious that you guys work well together. But that dude is very talented. Does he work with like a lot of other people?
Always. He never stops.
Yeah.
He never stops. And I just heard through the grapevine that he actually is on some West Coast tour or something. I haven't talked to him about it, so I might be butchering this. Sorry, buddy. But he's doing like beat sets for someone that's touring in the West Coast, I guess. So like opening for him, literally just doing instrumental sets.
Really?
Which is crazy. Like that's not really an offer that I feel, at least as far as I'm aware, like that's not a normal thing that's offered to just like a producer or DJ with like no rappers or anything. Like normally someone's like, all right, come on set with me. Like I'll spit over some of your beats or something, or you can just do like a melodic interlude between songs or whatever, when that's fine. But apparently he's doing beat sets, but I haven't talked to him about it, so that's good news.
Yeah, I've never heard of that either, because you could have like a traditional like DJ set or whatever, like to open, but to have that.
Well, dude, the guy never stops making beats. Like I saw like this meme, or I guess it was just a picture with a caption, which is a meme, but it was like a guy at Planet Fitness, and he was just like had like FL Studio out, like making beats at the gym, and I got immediately like screenshot sent to Gabe. Like I was like, this is literally you, because he's like, I go to the gym, but I never fucking feel like I'm doing anything or whatever, and he's like makes beats at work and like when he's like asleep somehow. the guy's a cyborg. He never stops making music, which is great, because if I ever need a beat, I'm like, hey. And I ask him for some weird shit sometimes too. Like just like send me the one we always go to is like, I asked him for like a beat with like a harp and a triangle in it or something. He's like, dude, can we like I'm all for like weird shit, but can we like reel it in a little bit? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He's like, this motherfucker's asking for harps. He's like, I got dudes like normally asking like, add an extra gunshot or something. And I show up, I'm like, yo, you got any triangles?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. And that goes back to like the last episode. I watched it kind of recently, so it's on my head. Like I was like trying not to take myself too serious. Like I'm asking for triangles in my raps, people, and it works. It works. I don't know what else.
The triangle holds a weird place, like in the hearts and minds of Americans.
Sure.
I feel, because think about it. Probably the first instrument anybody learns how to play in music class in like kindergarten.
That's true.
Ding around a triangle.
I always liked going for the triangle.
Actually, while we're on triangles, before we bounce to something else, I bartend at Mickey Rat's, and last couple summers we've always had like bells, which people always thought was for like big tips. That's why we'd ring it, but it was like whenever we saw some dumb shit happen. Basically, it was like an inside joke with the bartenders.
Oh,
like
okay.
someone says or does something stupid, like customer wise, like what an idiot, whatever.
Oh,
But the
okay.
customers just thought it was for tips, and we let them think that. So the guy who was like he was like the bell guy. He left this past summer, and the GM was like, okay, he's gone. No more bells. Like, I'm banning all the bells. So naturally, I didn't even buy it. It was a gift because I made a joke about it last summer. He's like, I'm gonna ban the bells. Like, all right, I'll get a triangle or something. I forgot about it, and then one of the other bartenders like got it shipped and gave it to me like week 2 of the summer this year. I was like, yo, first of all, it was great because I was like, wow, someone listened to something I said. That's amazing. I'm sure it was like a $4 triangle, but like I rocked this shit.
And now you can use it on all your beats.
I lost it, but I lost it that week, but it was a great week.
The triangle week.
Yeah, it was
That's what
awesome.
happens. Well, I never leave house.
You
That's
never-
all right. That's all right.
Yeah,
We
my
knew what
bad.
you were going for.
Yeah, I appreciate
Never
it.
leave
And
the
it was
house.
going to be moderately funny at best.
Yeah.
So don't feel too bad about stumbling.
The funny thing is,
I would have lost.
I
my
wish
mind.
I know, I
Yeah,
really
know.
wish I
The
had a
one day
triangle.
you didn't bring
I've
it.
been waiting to make a triangle joke for weeks. Weeks.
We had.
Jeez.
I never played the triangle in music class. But we
It was
had
always the recorder.
the recorder. Exactly. That's exactly
The
what I
poor
was gonna
man's
say.
flute.
Oh yeah, that's because when we were in elementary school in 5th grade, you got to play like a real instrument, and then in 4th grade, I guess they would warm you up with just recorders.
I feel like it was younger than that.
Maybe it was 3rd grade, but I know you couldn't get the band instruments until
No, that was 5th grade.
5th
correct.
grade, which was I played the trumpet, and it was a real disaster.
I can't imagine that being very fun.
Well, the problem, so it was me and these 2 other guys, and the 2 other guys were like really good at the trumpet. And the thing about me playing the trumpet is that I didn't know how. And I would go to these lessons for the whole year, and finally the big concert comes around in the spring. Everybody's parents show up, and when the concert first started, I tried a little bit to like fake my way through it. Like I looked at the guy next to me and tried to just do what he was doing and like make the notes. But at the end of the first song, I was just moving my fingers and like puffing out my cheeks to make it.
I give you credit for trying to even pretend.
Oh, I mean, I didn't have the balls to walk off the stage at age 10, but God, I wish I had.
One song and you tap.
Oh yeah, like sorry,
Well,
folks.
I have 2 band memories because, as you know, I played the tenor saxophone. I was a sax man, and the problem with the tenor saxophone was it was too large for them to let you take it on the bus, and it created like a massive amount of problems in my life because I would either have to leave it at school like all week until one of our parents could come pick it up, which meant I couldn't practice it, or I would just not bring it, which meant I couldn't practice it. Like I was in the band and I just wouldn't go to band, but I was okay at it. Like I could
Sure.
hold my own. I played real.
Saxophone's the easiest instrument. That's what everybody says.
No,
That's what I've heard.
no. Like I played real notes at the concert, but infamously I will always
All right.
say like when they make you stand up and do your scales.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this? When you're
Yeah.
in like, so they make every instrument stand up and you do a scale, and I fucked it up royally. Like just like let a hard squeak go right at the beginning, and then I tapped for the rest of the scale. But I also have a memory of being. Do you remember in like 3rd or 4th grade, back to like the pre-band thing, they would make you do like like with the recorders, and they'd have some triangles, and they made you do like an Easter concert, like a pre. And do you know what I'm talking about? Did you have to do this?
No.
We were supposed to do it, and I was supposed to play the xylophone. Like that was I signed up for it. I was like, I'm dialed in on this xylophone. Like,
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine myself playing.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like xylophone. And we practiced for like weeks, and I found out, once I had already signed up for the xylophone, that we were gonna be on vacation with our family like the week before spring break, which was like the week of the concert. And you know how teachers used to get pissed when you'd be like, yeah, I'm going on vacation the week before spring break.
Mhm.
And they'd get like mad that you were missing school even though it was completely irrelevant and it didn't mean anything. So I was afraid to tell anybody. So I just continued practicing the xylophone
Oh, but you were the only one.
and then didn't show up. And
What?
the craziest thing is, to this day, well, obviously to this day now, but nobody ever said a word about it to me. Like, nobody ever brought it up. Ever. Like, music teacher, none of the, nobody
to
ever.
this day, bro. That's like someone would bring it up
Yeah,
right
like,
now.
like I would get a call from Mrs. Gould right now. And
Oh,
be like,
shout out to Mrs. Gould.
yeah, that was our music teacher.
That
But,
was one of them.
This is
yeah.
cool.
The
I don't
not
remember
the cool
my
one. No
music
offense. She's probably passed away. So
I would shout
Sure,
mine
totally.
out, but I don't remember her name.
Mrs. Fredericks,
Fredericks was
she
the
was
other
the
one.
best.
Yeah.
She was the best. She would play Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town every Christmas, which that song fucking rules.
Beauty.
And she would always read the Jerry Seinfeld
Halloween.
like the candy book every year
The,
as well.
with the Superman
Yeah, with the Superman
mask.
costume.
Yeah.
And
the jacket.
Yep, and the jacket.
Yep.
I love that book.
Classic.
Yeah, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Didn't even know who Seinfeld was at that time, but I was like, something about this book. Something about
I'm going
this
to base
big-
my
something about
entire
this-
life off of it.
No. Something about this big-headed kid is really goddamn funny. And someday I hope people say that about me.
Your head's too small.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. I feel really good about that, actually, because I feel like my head is massive. Because I know I'm gonna, and I worry about it because I know I'm gonna go bald sooner rather than later.
Have you ever thought about just,
Well, I shaved it that one time we did Bald for Bucks.
Yeah.
In high school.
yeah. Yeah. But have you ever thought about just taking it down to the
To
skin?
absolutely
Raise
nothing?
it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's my plan for when it like fully starts to go.
Well, how much time are you
just
going to give
shave.
yourself?
I'm gonna let it get like when it starts to look like, sad. I'm just gonna shave it all off.
Yeah.
When it
Because right
starts
now
to
you
look
just
like-
you kind of have like the receding like peak here.
Well, that's
you know
a
what I mean?
thing. Yeah,
but
that's
you
the
still
thing.
got it here.
Yeah, I still have the point. And I've always had a widow's peak. I'll defend that stance
always got a
to the
widow's
day I
peak?
die. I've always had a widow's peak. Okay, if it's moving a little further back these days, who can say? Whatever. All right. But when that time comes,
Should we start taking yearly measurements?
of my yeah, sure.
That'd be great.
Mark it like when
We'll
you
tattoo
stand
it on
at,
your
like,
skull.
in the doorway. No, let's not do
Oh.
that. But that does.
Widow's
So
Oh, sorry to chime in. My brother, musician as well. He actually has. There's a song where the whole hook is about Widow's Peak. The whole hook is just like what you got a fucking Widow's Peak, Playboy, and like it's just the most absurd thing. So
that's
sorry,
fucking
that
funny.
I do appreciate though that that you said sorry to chime in. We like as if we were not. We were saying
as if
you're
we were
not
doing
allowed to
anything.
talk. Yeah.
It was just so off topic, but yeah, what you got a fucking Widow's Peak, Playboy.
That is a great
What you got
line.
fucking lakefront property is the next line. So yeah, he's out there.
That's
But
funny. That's a good.
That means you could be on your way to a nice little beach house, Andrew.
Is that what it takes?
A widow's peak.
Well, I'm not too concerned.
You're not even a beach guy.
That's the thing. I'm not a beach guy.
I'm not
I
either.
like the porch though. I'm going to Las Vegas on Thursday.
Ooh,
I've never been before.
forever.
Potentially.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes down. But yeah, I've got like these SPF like UV protective shirts or whatever.
Pool shirts.
Just
Pool
looking at you,
shirts?
I know us like that does nothing for you.
It does. They
Wear a
make
sweater.
a big look. Yeah, that's.
Look, yeah.
I do like. I need to be wearing Kevlar by the pool, but the fucking Ron John will do me right for now. Ron John will do me okay for now. But that's like, God. Like I've honestly thought about doing some kind of like spray tan situation thing because at this point, I can't tan and it's so pale under here. It's so bad. It's
You
like
should
the
go
walls of an
tanning.
insane asylum.
Yeah, I feel like I'm definitely like what I can see is the tannest part of you, and it's still just
Oh,
like
by far.
such an
by
unfortunate
far.
hue.
and it's really just
An
You should
unfortunate
go
hue. I'm
tanning.
gonna keep that for my memoir. But if you, what does that mean though?
Like get in a tanning bed. They'll let
But
you go in
isn't
for
it-
like 1 minute.
But isn't a tanning bed that you like? Can't you get sunburn from a tanning bed?
Well, yes,
because I
but-
will.
But you can
No,
like
but you can
minute
go
by
in
minute.
on like level 1 for like 1 minute and you have to do that like every
For
day for
100
like
years.
No, but you do it like every day for a week, and then you go like level 2 for 1 minute every day for like 3 days, and then maybe you go level 2 for 2 minutes, and you can make yourself not burn and also just get yourself like perfectly toasted marshmallow.
Perfectly roasted marshmallow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If
I
you're
honestly
that
don't know
commi-
if my skin has that ability.
No,
though.
it would if you were committed
like it's
to
so
it.
resistant to
Also,
the sun.
like, not a good theory, but you know my theory. Like, the first day where that sun is out and it's acceptable to be outside, just like sacrifice your body to it. Just let the sun take you,
yeah,
and then you're good. And you're good for the rest of the year. You just gotta shed that fucking first layer of skin off.
Yeah.
and you're ready to
shed
roll.
that winter's coat.
Yeah, shed that winter's coat, baby.
Yeah, sure, and hopefully the melanoma goes along with it.
Yeah, well, listen,
well,
only once a year.
take what you get.
Yeah.
But I was
Would
gonna.
you rather be pale, dude?
What do you got, a widow's
Melanoma,
peak?
being pale.
Yeah, honestly, you do go back and forth on that sometimes. But I was gonna ask you real quick if you have ever been to Las Vegas, because I'm trying to get advice from people.
I have been to the airport in Las Vegas.
Okay, same situation,
Me
which I
too.
probably will spend a good amount of time there.
And I was like, the time I was there, because like they have slots like right there. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even 18 yet, I don't think. So no. I've
I've-
been to an airport.
I've slept on the floor in the Las Vegas airport
This guy gets it.
Yeah,
for a while.
God, I'm sure that most people who do that have way sadder stories than you do.
Yeah, mine was literally. I was just on a layover on my way home from Utah.
Yeah, the other one is
yeah,
there.
and I was exhausted.
I drove to Utah.
That does not sound fun.
There and back. Yeah, that was not that fun. Actually, it was a good time.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes.
It was. It was me and my girl, and like I was just like, just sleep.
Did you guys take your time? Like,
Not even kind of. I drove for like 34 hours straight.
Is that how long it took?
No, that was just like the first, and then I was like, we got stuck in like a snowstorm in like Colorado. Like the mountains were bad enough. My car doesn't like hills. I found out the hard way, and it was just like all of us. Like we went in a tunnel. It was like nice as hell out. Went through a mountain, and then when we came out the other side of the mountain, it was just like blizzard. We're
Whoa.
like, this isn't New York. Like what was happening?
That's got to be super trippy though.
It
to
was,
me-
and like, keep in mind at this point I'm like deliriously tired.
Oh,
30
yeah.
hours just straight
Yeah.
driving.
yeah, I want to.
You don't.
I wanna
sleep a lot
focus on that
regularly,
point.
though, do you?
I don't, and I like that you know that. Why do you know that?
I've just heard you like say it before.
yeah.
I was like, I'm
30
pretty sure Donnie is the guy that does not sleep. And is that still so? That's still the case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn,
Third-
man.
Like I sleep decent once I'm asleep. It's just falling asleep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I could not physically imagine driving a vehicle for 30 straight hours. I have to drive to Pittsburgh on Friday when I get out of work. It's like 3.5 hours, and I have to do it by myself. And like, I am not only dreading it, but like afraid for myself.
Well, that's how I was getting around like the 34-hour mark. Like
Yeah,
in Colorado in a snowstorm, I was like, I'm gonna pull over, and like my girl was like asleep at the time, and I was like, so I just like.
She had just slept for 34 straight hours, so she was good to go.
So I crawled in the back where because we just had like the full bed set up back there because and we pulled in this weird little parking lot. I got like 4 hours of sleep, and then the rest of the trip did straight through. But that was like the only time we stopped. Like that was like 4 hours just because of a snowstorm. I just wanted to get there because I knew the trip was like it's gonna be long as hell either way. I'm not trying to extend it if I don't have to. I was like, I'll deal with like all the bad parts of it when I get there. And I'll already be like once I'm there, I'm not gonna really care about how I feel or anything. I'm on vacation.
Yeah, you're
Right.
there. Yeah, that's
is what
the
it
thing,
is.
It's all about
you're-
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love a long drive, dude.
Yeah.
Like we would drive my pals and I from here down to Florida. We did that a couple times
Yeah, I've done that
in
drive.
school.
Yep.
Down to like the low part of Florida,
Yeah.
right? Isn't it feels like it's way down there?
What,
Where?
like
Longboat
Miami
Key?
or like
No, it's
It's like mid.
Yeah, but it's all the way on the Gulf.
Okay,
so.
gotcha. Yeah, and Yeah, the longest I've ever been behind the wheel myself is 12 hours, and I loved it. It was terrible, but it's a kind of terrible that I like, though. You know what I mean?
You kind of just get in like the pocket of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, I just want same deal. Just like let's just plow through this fucking thing and get going.
See, I absolutely hate driving. Like if it was up to me, like a 20-minute, I just, it makes me so tired, and I just do not
If it's
like
a drive that I don't know I have to make, completely changes it.
That would
like I drive like me driving 25 minutes when I thought I have to drive like 7 would like piss me the hell off. But I'll drive 30 hours if I know that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it's just like it's an inconvenience thing for me.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever drive 30 hours straight in my entire life. I couldn't do it. I would.
I feel like most people won't and shouldn't.
Like,
if I'm being honest, but
we were on the road for 36 hours because we also got caught in this snowstorm one time. It was in Georgia, so they had no idea what to do. It was crazy. It's the first time I had ever seen tractor trailers like tipped over and stuff. It was nuts. And we were in the car for a fucking long time, but it was so fun. Like that whole ride, because you're just hanging out with your pals, man. It's like absolute best. You got nothing to do except
I understand it. Like we used to drive to Boston, like me and all my friends to play hockey every summer. That's like an 8-hour drive, and I drove to Georgia. Remember when I drove down to Georgia, and that's like 14. And I get what you're saying about it being fun. Like the memory part, like the memories of it are fun, but it's not. It's not fun for me to do. Like I hate being in the car for that long, especially driving.
Do you remember when we were really little? We would drive. Our parents would drive us down to Florida to see like some of my dad's family. And do you remember? So we had like this little TV that had the VHS player built right into it.
Yeah.
And so they would we also had this tiny like wooden table made for children.
With the bear on it.
Yeah, with the bear on it. So our dad would like bungee cord the table into the back seat and then strap this TV on. It was like the most, what do you call that, Jimmy rigged or whatever thing of all time. But it's some like Beverly Hills.
Especially for that time. How did he get power to it in a car?
I have no idea. It must have been one of those like cigar lighter situations.
Watching VHS tapes off a cigar lighter.
Yeah.
They just
the 90s.
They just don't make stories like that anymore.
No, that's a thing, man. Like
what's the modern version of that story?
TV's built into the fucking car. It just like comes down. You can watch Moana whenever you want.
It's messed up.
It's crazy. I always try and see what movie is on.
Always. I'll crash my car.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't care. I will crash.
Sometimes I'll change my entire route just to watch a little bit more of the film.
What are you guys watching, the Jim Carrey Christmas Carol? All right. A little out there for that reference, but that's that's pulled from real life, though. That one's pulled from real life. That's why I wanted to use it. It's the only time I've ever been actually able to like recognize.
No, it's always like, Moana was it's always like that. Or Life of Pets. Life of Pets is a big one.
I haven't seen it yet.
One movie I actually want to watch is
Lightyear.
No. It's that movie. It's on Peacock now.
I don't either. He seems like he would, though.
It's on Peacock now, and it's called it's called The Bad Guys or something like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I know somebody that worked on that movie, actually.
The Bad Guys?
Yeah, it's based on. It's like the animated one, right?
Yes, and it's
based on like some kids.
But it's got a good cast, from what I remember. Now I'm looking at it now. I don't remember. Well, Craig Robinson, he's funny.
I like Craig. I'll watch anything with him in it.
Oh yeah, those Pizza Hut commercials, he kills it.
Makes me consider Pizza Hut again.
Dude, I miss Pizza Hut. I
fucking love Pizza Hut. I'll talk about Pizza. We can get into Pizza Hut.
Oh, I want to talk about Pizza Hut because we used to go there all the time when we were little. Our dad would take us to the Wednesday night Pizza Hut buffet, which if you've been there, you gotta admit that was the best. The Pizza Hut buffet.
That was okay. That's fair. That's fair.
Oh,
The salads were better than they needed to be. There was like cinnamon sticks, and I hear you.
That's why you go.
you're Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza shouldn't be like the lowest thing on the totem pole.
You know, man, look, it's a tough market. It's
That's-
a tough market these days,
I
dude.
agree.
You got to try and diversify your product, like
I hear you.
keeping up with them, you
but
know.
just I don't know. I mean,
Especially since their business is all delivery now. They're starting to bring back a couple actual locations, but for the past like several years,
it's only
Pizza Huts have
delivery?
just been closing. It's all like Pizza Hut Expresses, you know,
Which
if that,
I was
whatever.
going to bring up because there's a Pizza Hut Express that we stop at in a rest stop that we stop at all the time on the way home from hockey trips.
Oh, really?
And
Where is the location of that?
right.
But also Pizza Hut pioneered the stuffed crust pizza, which is top 3 food inventions of all time.
This is
big,
true.
they're big pizza.
They are big pizza. Did you know that over 60% of all pizza sales in America are done by the big 4 companies: Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's, and Papa John's?
But Little Caesar says they're
60%.
not big pizza.
They are big pizza, though.
Pizza. Someone had to.
Pizza.
They say they're not big pizza. That's their whole
Yeah,
shtick.
but they are. They are part of the big
honest to
4. They might
goodness-
be the lowest on there, but they are.
If there was,
Which I know people shit on Little Caesars, and I get it, but I would rather eat
I'm a
that than
fan.
Papa John's.
I'd
I
rather
like Little Caesars.
I like Little Caesars
was like
too.
$5 ready to go.
Yeah, that
always
shit.
or
I
something.
know
Like,
people say it tastes like cardboard. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad.
No,
Oh,
neither
grow
do I.
up.
I mean, it's not like.
it's fine.
Think for yourself,
It's
man. I
five
feel like you're just.
fu-
you're
No,
just
I
hearing
like
that.
Little
You're
Caesars.
just hearing that.
We used to eat it so much when we were in high school because none of us ever had any money. So
Yeah.
we would go and 4 of us would split like 2,
Two hot and ready's.
$2.50 a guy, and you get
half a pizza.
16 slices of pizza
Yeah, that's pretty
for
nice.
4 guys.
That's pretty nice. Little Caesars is fucking out here, man. Little Caesars really putting in the
And
work.
if somebody, didn't need as much gas that week, or maybe won a lotto ticket, some crazy bread.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. See, they got the crazy bet. See, that's what Pizza Hut is trying to compete with, and I agree. They're going about it in a crazy
No, but the
way. They're
Pizza
going
Hut
overboard,
breadsticks
but
are
that's true. I
one
forgot
of-
about those.
because you have, oh my God, you have the Pizza Hut breadstick that is so good, so perfectly seasoned, and then once you're finished with those Pizza Hut breadsticks, they have the fucking dessert breadsticks,
dessert
and you go
breadsticks.
into those little cinnamon, fucking maple
why
coated,
they
whatever
go.
they are.
They're the perfect size.
They are.
Perfect everything. And you know what? You bring up a good point because people talk about if we're talking breadsticks, everybody's first thought is going to be Olive Garden.
Well, yeah, that's different style.
And I
of
won't knock
breadstick.
them for that though.
No,
No,
of course not.
that's
But
a
I think
different
the
style
Pizza
of
Hut
breadstick.
breadsticks beat them out.
But no, it's a different style of breadstick.
It's
Here's
not
the
that
thing.
different though. They're both super
No, because-
doughy, but the seasoning
no,
is
no.
the difference.
You're talking about but like to me, an Olive Garden breadstick, my favorite thing about Olive Garden breadstick is to dip it in the broth of a minestrone. All right,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Some real cha-cha.
it is so
so you-
goddamn good. And then you
Alfredo
obviously
sauce.
just and then you
Oh, dude.
eat them. Yeah,
I've been
But-
craving some fucking cheap-ass Olive Garden, like, Alfredo recently.
the 5 cheese Ziti al
Like the-
Forno dish at Olive Garden.
See, that's what these made-up words.
5 cheese Ziti al Forno.
El Forno?
El Forno. Okay.
Google that shit. Watch
Put it up! Get on the sticks.
No, but yeah, I do love
El Forno? Or wait, what?
cheese.
Speaking of words that don't exist, bro, I just started a new job, and I'm working with like OG traditional Italians that speak Italian, and like I get that it's a different language, but even when they're speaking like this language, there's words that don't correlate. I'm like,
Now you
I was
know
like
how
looking at the menu, bro, trying to figure out like what the hell we even offer, and I was like, yo, I need to like go home and like Google Translate everything on this menu. Like there was nothing I could like focaccia is like pizza-ish. I know that.
Caccio, I know that guy.
Sure. But like that's what I mean. Like I don't even know like just even the categories of what's on the menu I couldn't read.
Now you know how Helen
I'm
Keller
Italian too, bro.
Old Henrietta. I'm
Okay.
trying to.
Okay.
Very similar thing. That's a sick tattoo, by the way.
Which one?
The music note with the
Yeah. I actually forget I have this one like consistently. But yeah, a couple. This was all supposed to be filled in, but between not having money or motivation, it didn't.
What does that say right there?
I can't. You're not showing me the phone.
Not showing nobody.
5 cheese ZD Al Forno.
Al Forno.
That does look pretty good. It does look pretty good.
5 cheese
Well-
ZDL Forno.
Okay,
Well,
tell me
no,
about-
L,
because it's-
like AL, I'm assuming that means like with or something.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
Forno.
it's
So
gotta
what
be.
is Forno?
With Forno.
What does Forno mean? Is that a
You know when you taste it.
type of cheese, or is it like a...
I think it's
Just a
baked.
little. If you've ever had three,
I think it means it's baked.
Can you swoop it? I don't know. Tap it. Tap it.
What is
Double
Forno
tap
mean?
it. Helen Keller style.
What does Forno?
What does Forno mean?
Jesus, yo. I opened my phone up and it's just still there.
Gotta do it. Gotta do
Yeah,
it.
Forno means oven. What's up, boy? I told you. It means baked.
So what does Al mean? Al Forno.
With
in oven.
Of the oven. Of the oven.
Of the
Of
oven.
the oven.
In
That
oven.
actually, if you say it like that, I do like it. But I like of the oven. What? It's a beautiful language.
5
It's a beautiful
cheese
language.
ziti of the oven. The 5 cheese ziti of the oven.
The ziti of the oven. Come on down. Come to the islands.
Come on down to South Jersey and try some. I can't do a South Jersey accent, but if you could, that would be. That
I
was
was
your
headed
line.
towards like Jamaican. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's what I.
It came
yeah.
out. The first word I felt it, and then I heard it slip like as it was coming out, and I cut
Oh
it.
yeah,
right
you
then
gotta
and there.
you gotta cut it off right there.
I was just spit a little bit on myself.
Comes with the territory.
We should do the Hoodoo of the Week.
Okay.
They never would have known that if you didn't tell them.
Yeah, but I'm honest.
Yeah, but
Fuck you.
okay. Let's do this one. The who would win of the week this week is Kevin Hart versus Matilda, an all-time battle. Now,
That's a great one.
where the fuck do we even
Can
start?
I
with
ask a
this?
question? Can I ask a question? 'Cause
Absolutely.
the only thing I think of when I hear like Matilda is that GIF of the little girl with the lollipop going like this. Is that Matilda?
I don't know what you're
I
talking about.
don't think so.
I'll find
I don't think Matilda ever had her hands on a lollipop. I've
No.
seen that movie.
And
She's like
she-
hiding under tables and shit, like stealing cake. She's
She wasn't like an angry person.
Doesn't she drug
No.
her?
Her family?
No, her.
Is it?
I
Does she?
think I'm thinking of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Bro, those.
That movie fucking
This one.
rules.
That's not Matilda.
no.
Let me see,
What the
let me
fuck that
see.
is? That's not Matilda. That's like white trash Matilda.
I always thought that
So-
was Matilda.
So we thought. So you.
thought
so you
that was
accepted that chick was about to be fighting Kevin Hart. I don't know what to do with
Goddamn.
this show anymore, man. Oh god.
Oh yeah, I was. I wasn't even close.
No, yeah, Matilda's like. See, that would be what like Matilda's sibling, because the whole thing is Matilda is like the black sheep of her family. Her whole family
Matilda.
is kind of like trashy. Yeah.
Is
but
that
she's,
Matilda?
like- that's Matilda. That is Matilda.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know what I meant. I remember that guy. Does she have a nanny or is it a stepmom?
No, she
Oh, that's-
spoilers for Matilda. She ends up getting adopted by one of her teachers, or her one teacher, Mrs.
Eventually,
Honey or something.
Honeycutt.
Yeah,
Don't
something
know.
like
I haven't
that.
seen Matilda in like 2 decades, but Honeycutt came to mind.
It's definitely
But
it's
she is
honey.
magic.
It's Honeycutt. We're going with
Yeah, yeah. That's I would say probably the only difference between these two is that Matilda has the magical ability. Other than that, they're pretty much the stat line's exactly the same. Both of them grew up with a lot of having to face a lot of adversity.
Danny DeVito, huh?
Yeah, plays her dad and directed that movie.
Holy shit! I need to rewatch Matilda.
Yeah.
Do I?
I don't know. I feel like it's honestly not.
I feel like I
I
get
feel
it.
like it doesn't hold up. Yeah.
Did they have?
no
They didn't
way.
have a maid or anything. Am I making this up?
No. They didn't have anything like
Are you thinking
that.
of like Mary Poppins or something?
I mean, I'm definitely flirting with that, but
flirting with Mary Poppins.
Flirting with Mary Poppins?
I'm not seeing any honeysuckles, honeycombs, honey licks, honey whatever we're talking about.
But Matilda, so she can.
Oh,
move,
Miss Honey. That's literally
Miss
her
Honey.
name. Yeah.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. So she can move things with her mind. She like points her finger and stuff. Does she ever move a person? That's something we should look up because I the only things that I can remember her moving are books, which is what nerds would use their superpowers
Books
for.
and herself. There's
Oh,
a
she
point where
lifts it.
she's levitating herself under
So
the
she
kitchen
can't.
table.
It seems like she
Okay.
can't.
That's like the
And
only part I remember.
And I think she like spins some kids around the room as well.
Okay.
But does she ever lift up like an adult?
So this is an interesting question. I think that like, are we Matilda from like the Matilda cinematic universe,
Yeah.
or like
The
present
MCU.
day Matilda,
My MCU is the Matilda.
Yeah,
Cinematic
Matilda.
Universe. Yeah, hell yeah.
or like modern day Matilda?
No, that's Matilda, man.
Because
Matilda,
she might be able to hone.
I don't
I'm
think
just saying.
Matilda went to Hogwarts or anything like. I mean, she probably did get more powerful, but
Because I'm just
If
thinking
she
because
grew up,
Matilda
but
and
I'm
Kevin
saying-
Hart are probably around the same age right now.
that's interesting.
It's weird to think about, but okay,
Yeah.
all right.
But
Child
this is child
Matilda.
This is Matilda classic.
MCU Matilda.
MCU Matilda. That's right. The one that the
And-
MCU recognizes as Matilda. She was there in the fucking On Your Left in Endgame.
All right.
Matilda came out of one of the portals.
Matilda
In spite of her age, she is an exceptional telekinetic. It
And
says.
she's also wicked smart.
She is.
She can do
First-
math like that.
And
first-
she, like you said, she came up pretty rough. Are we unanimous here? I don't know.
No, I'm not even.
We're
I
just
haven't
getting-
even
well,
thought-
I feel like
I'm,
we're-
I'm trying to
I
make
just-
sure I have all my Matilda facts down.
Yeah.
She accidentally caused. Wait, in the book, she discovers she she tips over a glass. She catches some stuff.
Yeah. 'Cause she
I'm
was
trying to
kind
see
of
if she
like
does anything.
neglected by her family is the whole Matilda deal.
So this is important to know. Her abilities peak when she is angry. When something angers her, when she
I think it's just
recalls
like
being
over,
mistreated,
emotion.
like
her
overwhelmed.
rage over
Yeah,
those
yeah.
memories.
Classic like
Yeah.
fire starter shit.
Okay, so it says right here, she was able to move a book and start a car without any problems. It is possible that if she had plenty of practice, she could be able to move larger objects. So we don't see her do it, but the folklore reads that she probably can.
So we'll say latter half of the movie, once she's kind of figured a little bit
Yeah.
of it out, versus present day
If
Kevin,
Kevin
Hart.
Hart gets her angry enough, yes. Here's the thing about Kevin
he
Hart.
will.
Yeah, because he'll be making fun of her.
That was your Kevin Hart?
That's what he would do to make fun of Matilda.
That was because of her finger. That looked a little more like Eddie Murphy. That was weird.
Yeah, but Eddie Murphy does this thing where he crosses the. He's like, well, you know what I'm talking about?
No.
You'll watch an Eddie Murphy, or am I thinking of Chris Rock? I can't remember.
That
But-
feels Chris Rock.
Jay Farrow. You know who Jay Farrow is?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So when he does the
I think he
I
does
think it's
Chris
Rock.
Rock.
It's
Yeah,
Chris
it's
Rock.
Chris
He crosses
Rock.
his fingers like I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it felt right when he did it.
Oh, maybe it is Eddie Murphy. Now that I'm doing like the
No,
Now
because
that you're
when he's doing
feeling it.
Eddie Murphy, he's doing this.
Oh, that's right. That's
You know,
right.
the craziest thing is I kind of look like Eddie Murphy.
Dude, that shit. Goddamn, his Eddie Murphy impression is so fucking good. That guy's hilarious. But that's not the black comedian we're talking about.
We're talking about
Kevin Hart.
Here's the thing about Kevin Hart, in my opinion, is like he is obviously a hard worker.
Very.
We shout him out all the time on this show. But he notoriously makes fun of himself for being like
inadequate
a
physically.
scaredy kid. Yeah, like he talks about how he could never
Oh, okay.
fight anybody, or like makes fun of himself for being like afraid of things that most manly people shouldn't be afraid of, right? Like he backs down to a lot of things. And I think that he would be chirping the shit out of Matilda, and the second Matilda like lifted up like one book to throw at him, he would shit his pants. Like he would be like, I'm out, that's it, kill me now. And he would just lay down and just completely accept defeat.
That's probably the book moving thing. Like he'd say something along the lines of like, I've seen horror films. Like I know how this goes.
Yep. Yeah.
Being the one black guy. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
what they say. So I mean, like he'd see a book move and he might just dip. There may not even be a.
Well, I don't think he would dip. I think he would literally.
he would try
I
to.
think he would sit down and accept his fate. Like he'd like
He would
just.
just give up.
Yeah.
You think?
I think he
Yeah,
would
I
give
don't
up
know.
so fast.
But you do bring up an interesting point because my first thought is Kevin Hart. He is an in shape dude.
He is.
He's that guy works out a ton, and
That's only
he's
since he
pretty
became
strong.
friends with The Rock.
No, he was still. He was still
yeah.
pretty,
See
pretty
that's
buff.
what I was about to bring up is he's been hanging out with The Rock so much
That
and
could change.
they
things.
just put out that like Instagram reel where they're slapping
Slapping
each other with the tortillas.
Funny video. Yeah.
And I mean, friends or not, slapping the rock with a tortilla takes some
Oh,
cojones.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking
For
about?
sure.
And I mean, Matilda depends.
On
Right.
the same level of height,
I'm
probably.
gonna rewatch Matilda in the next couple days, and I'll get back to you guys. We can edit post. You know.
Oh yeah. We'll
You
cut
can
it
vote
in right here.
on Instagram. I am gonna take Matilda because I think the magic has a big part to it, and I also do think that Kevin Hart. A lot of comedians make fun of themselves, and it's all jokes. I don't think Kevin Hart is probably as scaredy cat as he says he is.
Yeah, no.
But I do think that there's a big part of him that does shy away from confrontation and like wouldn't want to. Also, he seems like the type of guy who he would let himself get beat up by Matilda so that he could say, I let Matilda beat me up and not have to admit that he actually got his
He doesn't
ass
want to
kicked.
get canceled
Right.
either.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
He's
thinking.
He's in the public eye a lot.
Yeah, and if
He's
he
been
beats up
canceled,
like
hasn't
a
he?
Oh yeah, that's right.
What did
Was he
he?
going to be the?
He had a tweet.
He said he didn't want
about,
his kid to be
Yeah, he didn't want
gay
he
or
didn't want
something
his-
like that.
Yeah, from like
And then from
2008
a
or
long
something.
time ago,
Yeah,
and then
they
he was about to host like the Oscars.
Yeah, they
and
fired
they were
him.
like, "Oh no, you can't do this."
Yeah,
And he was like, "Fine."
yeah. No,
And they were like, "Wait a minute, we decided you can." He was like, "Nah, I'm not going to do it. Fuck
Yeah.
you."
um,
I'm going to take Matilda. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. Well, I just want to say that I think it's interesting that you brought up Kevin Hart's verbal sparring capabilities because
What if he just demoralizes her?
Yeah,
That's
but no,
what I'm
because
kinda-
She's a child.
she is a child.
Yeah, but she's
And-
she's intellectually above people
You're
of her
right.
age.
And
she's very,
she-
very smart.
and she gets a lot of shit from her parents.
She's
already.
dealt with a lot worse than
Yeah,
Kevin
that's
Hart.
true.
And
Yeah.
like, even if
We
he
almost
does
had
get
something.
under her skin, even if he gets her angry, that's worse for him based
Yeah.
off of the intel that I have on Matilda.
Yeah.
The inside scoop from my.
Yeah. So I mean, the girl's
Sources.
mind is a steel trap, and she can move things. So yeah, it's got to be Matilda. This
Matilda.
fight would be very funny though. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because she could literally just use books. She doesn't
That's-
have to move a
that's what I'm
person or
picturing.
anything.
Yeah.
If she has enough books, just rifling
Oh,
them
yeah.
at,
I
a,
wish I could.
at a flailing Kevin Hart.
If you're gonna fight Matilda, do not do it near a library.
Absolutely not.
I wish I could.
That's
Do-
her version. A library is to Matilda as the ocean is to Aquaman.
I wish I could do a Kevin Hart impression, because I would do exactly like how I feel like him telling the story of him getting his ass kicked by Matilda would go.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I tried, like, immediately thought, I was like, how can I do a Kevin Hart impression? I don't think of Kevin Hart. I think of Jay Farrow doing Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's how good he is.
He'd be
at
like,
it.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna. I'll.
I don't think any of us specifically are supposed to try.
Mm-mm.
I caught myself earlier and stopped. I think
I
that-
want to because I know what I would say, but I know it would be so bad and so not funny
Yeah.
that I don't want to. But Matilda,
Yeah, I gotta
Matilda?
go Matilda. You can't go against
I think
Matilda.
so.
clean sweep, Matilda. Emily's fired up about that. Big Matilda fan. Vote
I
on
didn't know
that.
Matilda was blind.
On Knows all the
she
history
only
about it.
likes blind.
She only likes blind people. My go-to blind person is
Is Matilda.
Shit, I need a new one.
Buy that shirt on teespring.com/2 in the cooler, whatever it is. Don't know what it is, but that's a great.
We got to do double tap Helen Keller shirt. I think.
Oh, I'm in.
We should
I'm
make-
buying
yeah.
40 of them.
Vote on that on Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? We should definitely make that a shirt. My favorite blind person is Matilda. Or was it my go-to?
My
blind-
go-to blind person.
person is Matilda.
Yeah, not necessarily my favorite.
Yeah,
but
but
there's
my
an
go-to.
there's
The
an
one
element of
that rolls
respect
off the
there.
tongue
Yeah,
the most.
exactly.
I get that.
Yeah,
You
I
gotta
like
have
that
one.
shirt a lot.
that's a Roald Dahl book too. It's Matilda. That guy was
Roll
a
Dahl,
weird dude.
BFG,
BFG. Yeah, BFG. Yeah,
the big friendly giant.
I think that guy. Yeah,
He was like
I never-
schizophrenic or something.
I think he was a Nazi.
Oh,
We're back to Nazis.
It all circles.
comes
yeah,
full circle.
back.
yeah.
But he was definitely. Yeah, I've heard weird stuff about him too. I can't remember what it is, but I don't know. There was something about his book. I never really read his books.
I
as a
read one
kid.
of them. I did a book report on it, but I don't remember what it was.
We read the
Freaked me out
BFG
a
in Miss
little bit.
Monick's class in 3rd grade.
Yeah, that I remember. Do you guys remember a book called The Chocolate Touch?
Yes.
The chocolate touch.
Also
Did you ever
by-
hear this
That
book?
sounds like an
Roll-
awful sex tape from like a I don't know. I don't. If Craig Robinson put out a sex tape,
Oh my god, the soundtrack to that sex tape would be unreal.
it would just be him harmonizing them with himself.
Oh, it'd be incredible.
Roll doll. I forgot what I was looking up here, but you guys can.
Does the night closes?
But the Chocolate Touch was like a super weird. See, some of these kids' books were like kind of fucked up. The Chocolate Touch was basically the story of King Midas. You know how everything he touched turned to gold.
Mm-hmm.
So this kid, he would eat chocolate nonstop, and they were like, "You have to stop eating chocolate." And so then he goes to like this magic candy shop that just like appears out of nowhere or something, and the guy gives him like a chocolate coin, and I think he eats it, and then he wakes up, and everything he touches turns to chocolate, and he tries to drink, and it turns into chocolate milk and stuff. So at the end of the story, he like kills his mom. He turns his mom into a chocolate statue.
This does. When is this like an older?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be a little.
There's
older.
a weird
It's
part
gotta
of
be
my
a little
brain that's
older.
like flashing right
Yeah,
now when you said
yeah.
that killing the mom part.
Yeah, that tends to light something
Again,
up.
why does my brain retain the worst part about any type of knowledge that I ever get in?
It's a survival
what we
technique.
do, man.
So you
That's what we
know
do.
if you see a kid touching, double tapping
Stay
with that
away.
chocolate touch, yeah, then you know. But that always it seems so fucked up to me.
The Chocolate Touch.
The Chocolate Touch. Good title, but weird. weird book.
There's a movie. I think it's on Netflix. I actually, now that I'm saying that, I doubt it's still on Netflix. This was like 2-3 years ago when I watched part of it. Like called Bread Man, Bread Hands, Bread Boy. Anything from any of you? Either of you? Damn, dude.
Are you
Not
talking
familiar.
about Food Boy?
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Does it have the? Does it? Yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty
the
sure-
movie. Yo,
In the bathroom? Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
Holy
Dude, that fucking movie. I don't know. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if anybody can find it now.
The Adventures of Food Boy?
Yes, starring Lucas Grabeel
Absolutely.
of High School Musical
You
fame.
can watch it for
Yo,
free on Amazon Prime.
That movie
Dude.
is so fucking bad.
There's
It's-
one scene you need to watch,
Dude,
bro.
yo,
Skim
the
through it
fucking-
and wait for
but
the
dude,
bathroom scene.
So the plot, it is like the Disney Channel original movies would have turned this script away. They would have been like, this, we cannot even fucking make this. And we made Luck of the Irish, which is a great movie, but it's fucking crazy.
And, like,
it's
Thunder-
fucking crazy.
Do you
Thunderstruck.
think, when did this come out? Wait, I got
It
don't
came out
2011.
let me,
That's pretty.
I don't know. I really don't know.
2003? 2006. 7. 9.
Or what are we doing here? Did you skip 8?
Yeah. I did skip 8. 8 knows why. But dude, how about so I watched that.
So that
one.
was sorry. I had to look it up to see like what the order of events was.
Mm-hmm.
So 2006 High School Musical comes out.
And then
That dude, they're like, listen, none of the good people in this movie are gonna be. But what about the one brother that sings that "Bop Till You Top" song? Can we get him in this movie? You think?
Bop Till
Yeah,
You
we
Top.
can. Boom. 2008. He's the star of the show.
What I want to hear is the elevator pitch they gave to Zac Efron with this movie in mind.
Well,
that
you
script
know.
came across his desk.
You
We
know, Lucas Gabriel wasn't their first stop.
Oh, yeah,
You know
we
what
know.
I mean?
No.
Corbin Blue would have killed the role. There's
Everybody had to pass on this for him to get it.
Yeah, every single person in
Corbin
High School
Blue.
Musical.
Troy Bolton's dad. He might be
Your
in it.
dream. Dude, but like the special effects are so bad. So it's about a kid who
Why are my players in a tree?
he can create food like out of nowhere, and it's like that shit where like it's a family secret, and then one day this bathroom scene happens. Dude, is it? People who haven't seen it aren't gonna get this. It's fucking crazy that you did this, and I
And
was
you
like,
knew
yeah,
what I meant.
that's the movie.
Yeah.
Because there's this part where he's in the bathroom and mustard is uncontrollably firing from his wrist like the fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, getting everywhere, and it's just so obvious that there's like pipes like roll up his sleeves that are just firing all over the walls, and it's just pieces of bread. So there's this part. Can I borrow your phone? So there's this part where he gets in trouble because he covered the school bathroom in mustard, and nobody knows how he
Believes
did
him.
it.
Yeah.
So his grandma, who he lives with, is the only one who knows about his food power. So So they're at this big meeting with the principal, and he and his grandmother are sitting across from each other. And to signal to his grandma that he has been like practicing his food powers, this is what happens. This is what fucking happens, Matthew. He has his hands like this. The principal's fucking talking, and he and the grandma are just looking at each other. He's got his hands like this, and he goes, pulls out an apple. Pulls out an apple as if he conjured the apple. And like, fuck you, man.
They didn't even try.
They didn't even try. He just pulled an apple up from under the desk that was sitting in his lap.
It's literally like how you would tell a kid to do a magic trick. Like, hey, make him.
Yeah, it's literally.
Here's.
It's not even a step above, like, I'm going to make this disappear.
Right.
And goddamn. And also, you talk about how people playing high schoolers in movies look like they're 35. The oldest actors I have ever seen played the bullies in this movie. Like, we're talking about fucking Widow's Peak. This guy's his hair was thinning, and he was playing an 18-year-old.
He was damn near bald.
Also, the best, like, fake fall that I've ever seen on screen is right up top. There's this kid.
Should we get eyes on the project?
Oh, my God.
I'm trying,
he
dude.
looks... this kid, who is obviously a 32-year-old man, he's kind of like a nerdish guy. He's just walking. He's just an extra. He's walking with his lunch tray, and the bully, like, puts his foot out to trip this kid, and the way that this man falls, is incredible. It's so like, it's the most. I don't know. It's not acting. But he gets to the ground. I don't know. It's crazy. That's an insane movie. I can't believe you've seen Food Boy, dude.
I just searched it to like show him. Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing. YouTube has nothing. They have the trailer, and that's it.
Dude, it's hard to find.
I gotta
Food Boy,
find
man.
it.
They're trying to bury it. They're trying to bury Food
It's on
Boy.
Amazon Prime
Yeah.
for free.
That's another.
We'll put the link in the episode description. For
All
Food
right.
Boy.
As we wrap it up here.
That and Matilda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food Boy versus Matilda. Who wins?
That would have been
Perfect.
Too bad neither of you guys knew that you both had watched Food Boy.
Oh, yeah,
I
there's
never
no
would have brought
way.
that up.
Food Boy. You're an asshole if you just toss Food Boy out there. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Food Boy Matilda.
Can
I'm
I
taking
ask-
Food Boy. Mini version of this. Who would win? I'm taking Food Boy.
No, you know what? I'm going to say because of Matilda's intellect. I feel like I don't like Food Boy. I think
She's
he's
like
a dumb
child.
asshole.
He's in high school.
Yeah, but he's still a dumb asshole.
For taking the role in general.
Fuck Food Boy, man. Great movie. I mean, watch it if you get a chance, but
It's not.
The two things I do want to do real quick before we wrap up is I just had one. This is such a basic question, but I don't think I've ever asked this
Yeah.
to you before. Is do you what is your writing process right? Because you're such a great freestyler. Is that how you get it done?
You kind of did last time a little bit.
Okay.
It varies on, because sometimes like I'll just be driving and this is the most authentic way a song has ever been made, really, as far as like for me, is like I'll just be driving out listening to music and a song will end and the outro is still playing and like a beat's playing, and then I just kind of rap into myself, not even realizing I'm doing it, and then I'm like, wait, that line was cool. And then all of a sudden, that's the first line of an official verse. And then I'm just writing to really nothing because I'm just sort of driving. Maybe I'm close to my location. But I'll jot it down or I'll save it in my voice memos or whatever. And then once I have like that built up a little bit, I'll be like, okay, what beat does this work best with? Other times, Badfish, Gabe, he'll just send me like 4 or 5 beats at once.
Send him a little harp.
And then that's when I'm like, all right, I just skim through them. I'm like, oh, that's kind of the energy I'm feeling right now. And then I'll go beat first. And so it's there's no one set thing that I follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just curious because,
There is a lot of times where I'll just like put on a random beat that I know I'm not going to use and freestyle for as long as I can. Record whatever there is. I'll steal a couple lines from that just because like you can obviously if you sit to write something, the actual lyrics of what you're saying, it's always going to be better when you sit to write it. But when you're flowing like on the spot off the top of your head to a beat you may not even know. There's different flows and cadences that will come out of your mouth that you wouldn't have ever thought of if you were sitting down to write, because you're so worried about the rhyme structure and you're worried about making sure it makes sense.
Yeah.
That you're not thinking about like, oh, if I hold the a little extra longer, like it makes the next rhyme sound better, something like that. So that's why taking a little bit of the freestyling aspect with the sitting down and writing, you kind of get the best of both. Like the intellect goes into it enough to where everything makes sense, all the lyrics are there, but then you still have like the kind of freehand, like almost lackadaisical, where you can just kind of like play around with flows and like get choppy. That's why you'll notice, like if you listen to my songs, if someone can find out a song where I only use like 1 or 2 flows on it, send it to me. Like I would love to know which song I've done, because there's like 6, 7, 8 different flows like on a lot of my songs, because some things were written to, and I do it strategically, because like it's easy to say like, oh, he just mashes that with that and that and that, but it's like there's a reason for that. I'm not just like, oh, I don't feel like writing anymore, let me steal 3 lines from here or whatever. It's like, no, I want it to kind of be an experience. You know, because anyone can just rhyme over and over and over.
Yeah, I got you. That's
Yeah.
Very interesting. It's a great way to do that. It sounds to me, it's like planting seeds. Like you're just like ripping through, and then okay, this actually sprouts out, and then we'll build off of that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Interesting.
That is kind of what it's like.
Cool.
Because not everything catches.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
There's been times I'm 3 bars into a 4-bar stanza, and I'm like, forget this. Why am I even spending time on this anymore? Move on to the next thing, and then the next thing is 3 times better than what I just spent 20 minutes on. So, depends. Good question, though.
Well, it seems like, wow, like the best way for a guy like you to write, and that's obviously why you're doing what you're doing.
Because there's 2, I'm thinking of this off the top of my head at the moment. I think there's 2 things that go into it. It's the fact that my brain is so sporadic and doesn't really stop that I kind of almost have to do it that way. And then the other part of my brain that is like a flawed perfectionist, you know, that makes sure that everything, like I said, intellectually makes sense. Whereas the more psychotic part of my dome piece up top is like, that's where I'm kind of having some fun with it. And it kind of just meshes well.
That does sound like the recipe for a guy that does not sleep.
There you go.
Are you like an anxious dude?
Yeah, absolutely. Not always. It's weird. I kind of bounce back and forth, and it depends, like situational, who I'm around or whatever. I mean, that's kind of the same for a lot of people. I'm not saying I'm alone in that, but yeah. Because you seem like a very like I love talking to you, man. 'Cause you're like just a very cool dude, very easy to talk to. Yeah.
But what you're describing there seems kind of like a recipe that would bring up a lot of stuff, make most people very anxious.
Which is funny because it's almost a way to deal with the anxiety. What seems like anxious to other people is what's actually in turn helping me cope with the anxiety, I guess. And there's moments like if you listen to the new album, there's like I do dive into it a little bit more than past albums, past songs, whereas like not specific with anxiety or anything, but just for example, like there's a song called Every Other Day, and the whole hook of that is literally just me saying like every other day seeming like it's okay, every other day I'm praying demons go away.
Yeah.
Like sure, 50% of the time everything's great, but like the other side of that coin, as everyone experiences, like you got to take the good with the bad. And too many rappers at this point, I feel like, are just focused on like only one or the other. It's like, oh, check me out, I got all this money, I got all this bling and women and whatever. Or it's like my homie died, blah 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 blah. I'm like, yo, there's good and bad in every situation that you look at, no matter who you are. Like, talk about both. That's how life is. That's how most conversations are. Why should music be different? So many people harp on one thing or the other. I don't know. That's just kind of my view on, I don't know, there's a lot to think about, a lot that goes into it.
Well, that's the most authentic approach, though.
Yeah.
And that's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
All right, well,
at least that's what I'm giving them. Don't know if they're looking for it, but I hope they are.
I think they definitely are, man. Whether they and I think people do realize that now, but whether they have yet to or are still on their way to, like that is what it is. Because yeah, especially at the rate that people are consuming things, you can only consume so much of one-sided things.
That's what I mean.
You would think. I'm not sure if that really applies to like the news.
No,
It doesn't seem to, but
I get that because like I don't want to
maybe
be
it
the
does.
guy like you play an album. I mean, and I get like certain people make a sad album to make a sad album. Like that's I'm not knocking that. Like do your thing. Art is definitely up here and like how you express yourself, or whatever. But I think that I lost myself a little bit. What was your question? I had such a good answer. God damn it. I don't even know if you asked me a question, but I had a good rebuttal.
both sides consuming so much of one side.
Oh yeah, so like I don't want to be the guy that like you put out on the album and you have to be in a certain mood to listen to it. Like not out like my songs, for example. Like I don't make any, and it hurts me a lot of times. Like for live shows or whatever, I don't make like club bangers necessarily. Something that you would want to go dance to at the club, but like you would want to sit down and listen to it. So my music's already kind of classified itself in its own way as far as when you can't listen to it. So I didn't want to make the whole vibe of good or bad weigh that down even more.
Right.
You're trying to, get to the, like, what am I trying to say here? You're trying to just have it resonate with as many people, the biggest demographic of everyone as you can. So it's like going back and forth with the good and the bad. It just kind of made sense to me. I do it on a lot of songs. Like now that I've said it, if you go back and listen, like it'll be like, oh, that's the formula.
that's
That's
what
what
he's
he's
talking
doing. Yeah.
And
And honestly, I didn't even necessarily realize I did it until about 10 minutes ago when I told you.
That's why we're talking, man.
Yeah.
Getting out. That's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And the name of the album,
Exhausted.
Exhausted. Thank you for the shirts, by the way.
Yeah,
Those are sick.
absolutely.
I really
I told these
appreciate
guys
that.
I was going to get them shirts last year, like after I was on the episode, and I didn't, and I forgot about that. And then I was going through our messages when we were talking to get the address, and I saw that message. I was like, shit. So I brought them both shirts.
It was.
Hopping on the sticks.
He's on his calculator.
Figuring out how long it's been since Donnie was on.
Yeah.
I was on Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
I only know that because there's a clip on my TikTok, and you're drinking a Corona.
Yes, I did. I bought Coronas for that episode.
Yeah.
They sat in the fridge for a very long time. But yeah, plugs real quick then for where everybody can get the music. The
Sure.
links will all be in the episode.
Yeah, I mean,
description.
just down below. But, I mean, my name's Donny Alberts on everything, literally. Like, we talked about the rap name last time. We won't get into it again. Check
So
out episode
fucking funny,
57.
though. Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, Donny Alberts, Spotify, Apple Music, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pandora, whatever.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'm sorry I took us down that road, Matthew. I know you were trying to wrap up. Can I just say 122 and an 8?
Yeah,
122 and an 8. Because this is our 128th episode. People that get that reference
Good for them.
are going to love it.
I don't.
1990 live action Ninja Turtles movie. The fucking pinnacle of cinema.
122 and an 8.
122 and an 8.
Do sewers really have addresses, you think?
No, they were just
That was the-
they were
yeah,
just
that's-
that was the gag.
Yep,
that was a
I know.
joke. God
That
damn,
was-
that movie's
yeah.
so fucking good.
Came back to you.
Oh, then they drop it down the manhole? Is that what you
They,
guys are
like,
talking about?
slides
Okay.
it, yeah,
All right.
yeah.
And he doesn't pay because it was
Well,
late.
he pays but no tip.
Yeah.
Because forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza. And then fade to black.
Yep. Well, we'll take it on that. Thank you so much for coming on, Donnie.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Always a
thanks,
great
Thanks for having
time.
me, guys.
Oh, it was fun. Andy, love you.
I love you too, man. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.